Yo, welcome back, everyone. And today we're going to be taking a look at a new game coming out from the folks at Ninja Theory called Bleeding Edge, which is a new team-based online multiplayer battle arena. Set to release on March 24th, a closed beta actually occurred this past weekend that I jumped right into and tried out. Big question on everyone's mind is, how will Bleeding Edge distinguish itself in the genre, and does this beta show us anything that may hint towards what we have to look forward to when this game launches on Xbox, Windows 10, and Steam? Without further ado, let's jump right into it. This game all starts with its characters. First up, we got Damon, a samurai who has high damage output and very good escapability when you do get yourself into a tight spot. Gizmo up next, a machine gunner who uses turrets for some extra damage and also some gadgets for some escapability as well. My boy Nidhogger, I think that's how you say it here, is the absolute tank annihilator. A character who not only can output the damage, but also has the stun and health regen at his disposal. Granny Maeve, probably, I would say, my favorite character. She's a long-range caster who uses traps and lifesteal to trap characters from escape. Our little bird of prey, Cass, is the final in the DPS category. A very low health pool and probably the lowest damage output, but easily can chase down kills when characters are trying to escape. Going into the support and healers, we got Miko to start. She uses strikes to generate health and is able to heal herself along with teammates. So she is a great healer along with a bit of DPS with her as well. Kulev is probably the best design character, I would say, who has some high damage for support, but also uses abilities to weaken enemies or strengthen allies. And lastly, in the support category, we have Zero Cool, who is the absolute beast for healing. He provides a consistent healing, a bot that protects allies, and also has a little escapability as he can throw up a wall to kind of block people off from you. To start with the tanks, we have a Mr. El Bastardo, a man with a high health pool, rechargeable shields based on damage that he outputs, and some AoE damage and stuns at his disposal as well. My Bae Buttercup is up. Hard to stun, high health pool, some good AoE damage, and some CC abilities to help not only herself, but also the allies around her. And finally, we got Makoto. He's good for CC, he has some disrupts, and a very high health pool for increased survivability. Along with all the characters, you also have a wider range of mods for each of them, which will increase certain aspects of the character. It'll give longer stun on some abilities, health steal on attacks, faster cooldowns, and so on and so on and so on. Now, you can only have 3 mods active at a time, so you really have to pick and choose what you want for these mods. As in some scenarios, depending on team makeup, some of these mods may not be as effective for you, depending on what team you're running, and really opens the game up for different builds and different loadouts that you can do with each character, depending on the situation that you're in or the team that you're playing with. I didn't get a really good chance to dive deep into the mods for each character, but I'm definitely excited to build out different loadouts when the game goes live, and I also had a chance to work on some different loadouts with the main characters that I used during my time playing, which was Damon, Maeve, and Zero Cool. And from the different mods that I used and the different loadouts that I did, it really opens it up wide for people looking to get a little bit more competitive with it. You can have different builds that will do different things depending on what team you're playing with or the team that you're going against. Within the game, you also have your standard cosmetics. You have your boards, you have your paints, you have your designs, you have your emotes. All of these are available in the game to purchase with the coins that you received from playing the game. While locked currently, skins will also be available for purchase as well when the game launches and opens up a revenue stream for the dev team. They did state that microtransactions will not give any competitive edge and will only be used for cosmetics, so yay. Yay for not being EA and Star Wars. Now, the overall design of the characters and the world I enjoyed for the most part. I hope that skins, when they're unlocked, will help some basic character design, though, when the game launches, as some of the characters seem pretty tame or timid compared to the others. Like, we got Gizmo, who is very colorful and vibrant and has lots of personality. Zero Cool, who hasn't a care in the world, riding around in a slick ride. And then we have Makoto, who is a big guy. And yeah, he's a big guy. Some of these characters lose a little personality when you compare them to the others, which hopefully can be tuned some with the release of skins, and we can give some of these more basic characters a little bit more life and vibrancy. Now, for the meat and potatoes. When it comes to the gameplay of Bleeding Edge, I can easily say that I enjoyed it very much. The game felt tight in its controls and offered something a little bit different than what I'm used to when it comes to a game of this genre. This game, I found that it is much harder to carry a team. There isn't really a one-man show in this game. It is more focused on making you work as a team, and even the alts that you get are not really overpowered enough to make it so you can carry a team by yourself to victory. Now, pairing alts together and working as a team is what really changes the tide from being down a lot to being an absolute powerhouse. Early on, I did find that this is a little bit of a detriment, though, as most people don't know what they are doing and think that they can just dive in and 1v4 a team, making it so that your team is always at a disadvantage. If people don't work together in this game, then it is almost impossible to achieve the goal of winning the match. Now, this is a detriment now, of course, and as people start to learn the game, it will definitely get better. But if you're looking for a little bit more of a competitive edge, of course, it's going to be better to walk into this game with 3 other teammates and absolutely go to town on everyone. Now, while at the surface, it seems very simplistic, this game has quite a bit of depth, especially when you pair team makeup and the ability to work together. Some people may be turned off from it, as it is a third-person game that uses lock-on mechanics, meaning there is really no, aiming a weapon of any sort. You lock onto a target, and you use the ability or a basic attack that you're wanting to do. It may look like it is casual, and while it is more casual, I would say, it is quite difficult to get the hang of all the controls, and it's probably going to be even more difficult to master each character and the lock-on mechanics in its entirety. Now, this mechanic as a whole is something I do like, but it also becomes quite frustrating when an entire team just locks onto the healer and focuses them out, especially if you have a team that doesn't protect the healer. Now, because it's a lock-on, all of your attacks are going to hit. If you're melee, you have to be close, of course, but if you're a ranged character, all your attacks are going to be hit as long as you're within range. So taking out the aiming part of it, if you have a bunch of ranged characters that are just focusing down on a healer, it becomes quite frustrating if you don't have the team to counter that at all. I'm really on the fence on how I like the ability to actually choose who you fire at without actually looking at the target. So you can just hit a button, it brings up a lock-on, and then you just cycle through who you want to lock on as an enemy. You don't even have to look at the person. You just hit the button, and it brings up the lock-on, and you just choose who you want. I'm a little on the fence with that, as I feel like you should have to actually, aim your controller or aim your mouse at the person that you want to attack. Have the character lock on then, but don't give me the ability to just pick and choose who I want to lock onto. Now, maybe that opinion will change the better people get at the game and know how it works and what doesn't work and who to protect and who not to protect and how to play. But the time that I played, especially playing as a healer, you definitely get focused down quite a bit, especially if you have the team that does not protect you. So we'll see what happens with that. Overall, too, this game doesn't feel like a beta at all. It was very fleshed out. I achieved a high FPS, usually 80 FPS or higher, at all times. Even when the screen was, cluttered up with ults and attacks and a bunch of people all at once, FPS was always smooth. I never had any drops. The game didn't crash once. It was a very fleshed out experience. The only thing that had a little hitch in it was the training. Going through the training, it did freeze a couple of times, but picked up after 10-15 seconds. But that was really the only hitch that I had in the game whatsoever. Other than that, it ran flawlessly. All of the characters were also very balanced. Not one of the characters seemed to overpower the others. Every character worked well together. You could pair alts of some with others. There was a very good balance, and every character had a purpose depending on the scenario that you were in and the team makeup that you had. And having this being a beta and to have everything balanced like that gives me a lot of hope for when the game actually launches and when new characters are released as well. The game modes available during the beta were also very enjoyable. We had a point domination mode that also took kills into account for score, and a mode where you needed to collect these power cells on the map and deliver them to different capture points. You pair these modes with the maps that we had available, and overall the entire experience felt very balanced again. Each map had multiple avenues of attacks on points, and the games I played didn't have choke points or position on the maps that felt overpowered. When it comes to the game modes, I would love to see just a standard deathmatch type mode or a capture the flag mode. I think a capture a flag would be absolutely stellar for this game. Myself, being a very competitive player, would very much like to see a ranked mode of some sort right at the launch of this game. If not right at the launch, at least near launch. For me, ranked mode is what always keeps me interested and keeps, I would say, most of a player base interested as well. If you take too long on a ranked mode or just something along those lines, and I'm not sure how long the game will last. I could see myself playing this game for a couple of months casually, but ranked mode and chasing that top rank is always something that keeps at least me coming back to a game of this nature. I will say that this game has a very big plus, though, of being available on the Xbox Game Pass. This will get the game into a lot of hands, which in turn will hopefully keep a steady player base coming in. It also is available on Steam and has been confirmed that crossplay is available for PC and Xbox 100%. Being a first-party title for Xbox as well, I see this game probably getting a steady dose of support after launch, which is always welcomed. Honestly, I just really enjoyed this game. The characters are cool, the concept is great, the team-based focus is wonderful. Casual players can get behind it, and more competitive players will find mastery to achieve throughout the game. As long as the game provides constant support post-launch and the Game Pass keeps the player base up, I can see this game having a lasting appeal to the team-based brawler shooter genre. I am very excited for the March 24th launch, and will be easily hopping back into this on that date. If you're still on the fence and really want to give the game a shot for yourself, another beta will be available on March 13th. You can also get the Xbox Game Pass for $1 to try it out, for $1 for 1 month on March 24th. If you don't have Xbox and you have a PC, you can get the Xbox Game Pass for PC as well for $1 and get all of the first-party games, including Bleeding Edge, on launch for your PC. If you got to play it this time around, make sure to let me know what you thought of it in the comment section below. Or if you just want to comment on what you think of Bleeding Edge, even if you didn't get to play it, if you've been checking it out, what do you think about Bleeding Edge? Let me know. Comment section below, please. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like on the video, or even think about subscribing to the channel. We're going to definitely be having some more Bleeding Edge content coming out when the game launches on March 24th. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world, and we will catch you on the next one. Deuces.